Creating a view camera, also known as a tilt and shift camera, is very easy to set up in LightWave 9 using the advanced camera tools. The view camera is a type of camera with a very long history, and they are still used today by professional and amateur photographers who want full control over their images. The front and rear standards are not fixed relative to each other, unlike most cameras. Movement of the front and rear standards allows the photographer to move the lens and the film plane independently for precise control of the image's depth of field and perspective. We can recreate a view camera inside of LightWave 9 with just a few easy steps. First, let's add a null, and we'll call this camera master. Okay, and then we'll just move it into place, and I'm going to use this to parent the camera to so that we can build our setup. So let's select the camera, M for motion options, and I'm going to parent the camera to the camera master. We're going to use the camera as the film plane, and we need to create a lens plane. To do this, I'm going to add another null, and this null I'm going to call lens plane, and let's change the shape to a grid and put it on the z-axis. Okay, I'm going to turn parents in place off, and I'm going to parent this null to the camera just to get it over here. Then I'm going to move it slightly in front of the camera, turn parent in place on, go back to motion options, and parent it to the camera master. Let's zoom in to see the hierarchy that we've set up. And so basically, if I take my master mover and move it around, both items get moved. I can rotate and move the camera independently of the lens plane, and I can move this independently of the camera. By moving the lens plane up or down, we're treating it as the rise and fall of a view camera. By moving the lens plane left or right, we're using it as the shift of a view camera. By using pitch on the lens plane, it's like using tilt on a view camera, and by rotating it on its heading, it's like swing on a view camera. Moving or rotating the camera is like doing a back tilt or swing on a view camera. To adjust depth of field, all we need to do is select the lens plane and move it in and out away from the camera. To finish setting this up, we need to go to camera properties. So I'm going to select the camera, choose properties, and change it from classic camera to advanced camera. Since our camera is going to act as the film plane, we're going to leave our ray start as the camera, but our null object is going to be the lens plane. So for ray direction, we're going to change this through item XY, and we're going to change the item to lens plane. And that's all we need to do to set it up. So I can go ahead and close down these panels. Let's switch to our camera view, and we can see our lens plane. And let's do an F9 test render. Okay, and so we're zoomed in on the object, but I want to back that up. So all I got to do, I'm going to go ahead and close this. We'll grab our lens plane, T for move, and let's move it back. And let's do an F9. And so now we're backed away from the object. I can move it up, do an F9, and now we're changing our view that we're seeing. I can also go in and let's rotate it, and let's move it off to the side. And we can start to see this slant. Of course, our horizon line is straight. We can start to see the slant on the object because we're treating the film plane and the lens plane separately. Let's go ahead and move it a little bit more. We'll rotate again, heading, a little bit of pitch, do an F9. You can see a little more extreme view here. And this is just with moving the lens plane. We can also move the film plane, which in this case is the camera. We can move that independent of the lens plane, which gives us full control over our view camera setup in LightWave 9. This view camera setup is just one example of the power and flexibility of the advanced camera tools found in LightWave 9.